Hey, are you thinking about buying a pickup truck? Hold on for a moment. What I'm about to share could save you tens of thousands of dollars. I've identified 5 pickup trucks that have been causing serious financial headaches for their owners. One of them even had over 90,000 units recalled in 2024 due to catastrophic engine failure. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss important updates like this. Whether you're planning to buy new or used, this is information you need before signing anything. While salespeople may be eager to push these vehicles, many owners are stuck with repair bills reaching up to $15,000. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through which models and years to avoid, what kind of repair costs you might face, and how to spot these issues before making a purchase. Make sure you stick around until the end. The number 1 vehicle on this list might really surprise you. Let's start with a truck that doesn't get talked about enough. The Nissan Titan XD, equipped with the Cummins 5.0-liter V8 diesel engine from 2016 to 2019. On paper, it sounds impressive. A Cummins engine usually means reliability. But here's the catch. This engine was originally designed for European standards and later adapted for the U.S. market, which led to a complicated and failure-prone emissions system. The result is a messy setup that tends to break down more often than it should. The EGR system frequently fails, the turbocharger has a very short lifespan, and the emissions after-treatment system can be a constant headache. According to Consumer Reports, the Titan XD ranks among the least reliable vehicles. Owners report EGR clogging that leads to sudden loss of power. Imagine driving and your truck just won't accelerate. Turbochargers can fail before even reaching 80,000 miles, sometimes in dramatic fashion. NOx sensors alone can cost over $2,000 to replace, and the DEF system can stop working entirely, leaving your truck practically unusable. There are also frequent cooling system leaks that can leave you stranded, along with electronic issues that force the truck into limp mode, limiting your speed to about 65 miles per hour. Repair costs can quickly add up. A full emissions system overhaul can exceed $8,000, and replacing the turbocharger can cost another $4,000. When you factor in the EGR system, sensors, and labor, total repairs can easily reach $15,000 just to get the truck running properly again. To make matters worse, many mechanics aren't familiar enough with these issues, meaning you might have to return multiple times for the same fix. It's worth noting that the gasoline versions of the Titan don't suffer from these problems. The issue is specific to the XD diesel model, which is best avoided. The gas-powered version is actually quite dependable, but this diesel variant can become a serious financial burden. Now let's move on to a more well-known truck, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500. But not all models, specifically the 2005 to 2015 versions with the 5.3-liter V8 engine. The 2005 model, in particular, performed poorly, earning a reliability score of just 40 out of 100 from Consumer Reports. For comparison, a Toyota Corolla from the same year scored 85. The main issue here is GM's active fuel management system. It was designed to improve fuel efficiency by shutting off half the engine's cylinders when full power isn't needed. Sounds smart, right? Unfortunately, in real-world use, it causes serious problems, especially with the hydraulic lifters. This system creates uneven pressure in the engine's lubrication system, which leads to lifter failure. Drivers often notice a ticking noise coming from the engine, similar to an old sewing machine. There can also be sudden power loss, where pressing the accelerator does little or nothing. Other common symptoms include excessive oil consumption, sometimes requiring weekly top-ups, frequent check engine lights, and misfire codes when scanned. You might also hear rattling noises during cold starts and experience rough performance at low RPMs. Fixing these issues isn't cheap. Replacing the lifters and camshaft can cost anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000, making it a costly problem to deal with. That repair cost applies only if you catch the issue early. If you ignore it, you could end up needing a full engine replacement, which can cost $15,000 or more. It gets worse. Once the lifters fail, they can release metal debris that circulates throughout the engine, causing widespread damage. Some owners try to disable the AFM system with aftermarket modifications, but that often leads to new issues and may void warranties. The good news is that Silverado models from 2016 onward improved significantly. GM addressed these problems by redesigning the AFM system, and newer generations are much more reliable. So it's not the entire brand that's problematic, just those specific model years. However, if you come across a 2005 to 2015 Silverado at a suspiciously low price, proceed with caution. Now let's talk about the Ram 1500, a pickup known for its comfort, style, and power, but also for some serious reliability concerns, especially in the 2013 to 2020 models equipped with the Hemi engine. The 2013 model year was particularly bad, scoring just 15 out of 100 in reliability ratings. That's extremely low, worse than many cars from decades ago. The trouble began when Chrysler, now Stellantis, updated the Hemi engine to meet modern emissions standards. They added systems like MDS, multiple displacement system, and more complex fuel injection, but the core engine design remained outdated. One of the most well-known issues is the Hemi tick, a distinct ticking noise that signals failing lifters. Exhaust manifolds are also prone to cracking, which creates a loud, tractor-like sound. Transmission issues, especially with the 8-speed, can cause rough shifting and hesitation. Oil leaks are common, particularly around gaskets and valve covers. Other problems include early failure of the MDS system, ignition system faults, and fuel pumps that can fail without warning, potentially leaving you stranded. These issues have become so widespread that entire online communities exist just for Ram owners dealing with Hemi engine problems. Repair costs can be steep. Fixing lifters alone can run between $4,000 and $6,000, and that's if no additional damage has occurred. Exhaust manifold repairs can cost $2,000 to $3,000, and transmission repairs range from $5,000 to $8,000, sometimes recurring. In worst-case scenarios, engine failure due to lubrication issues can cost $20,000 or more. In fact, Ram discontinued the Hemi engine in 2024. After years of trying to resolve its issues, they moved on to a new turbocharged V6 engine called the Hurricane. The latest 2025 Ram models now use this new engine. While it's still too early to judge its long-term reliability, at least it doesn't carry the known issues of the Hemi. If you're shopping for a used Ram, it's best to avoid the years mentioned earlier. If you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the Ford Triton 5.4-liter engine from 2004 to 2010. This engine caused so many problems that mechanics had to develop specialized tools just to work on it. There's even a dedicated Triton spark plug removal kit designed specifically for these engines. Ford aimed to innovate with this modular engine, packing it with advanced features for its time. Unfortunately, it turned out to be far more troublesome in real-world use. One major flaw lies in the spark plug design. The threads in the aluminum cylinder head are too weak for a high-compression engine. As a result, spark plugs can literally blow out of the engine. When that happens, you'll hear a loud bang under the hood, often followed by smoke. It doesn't stop there. When a spark plug blows out, it can damage the threads in the cylinder head. At that point, you can't just replace the plug. The repair becomes much more complicated, requiring special inserts. The timing chains in these engines are also known to stretch or break unexpectedly, which can lead to catastrophic engine failure. Cam phasers produce loud knocking noises often described as sounding like a jackhammer. Oil leaks are everywhere, from gaskets to seals to covers. The ignition system is another weak point, with coils frequently burning out. Cooling system issues can cause overheating, and spark plugs often seize in place, breaking during removal. This problem became so common that Ford had to redesign the spark plugs multiple times in an attempt to fix it. What's especially frustrating is that Ford was aware of many of these issues, but continued producing the engine for years. They only stopped once customer complaints reached a breaking point. Fixing the spark plug thread problem can cost between $2,000 and $3,000 per cylinder, and in many cases more than one cylinder is affected. A full timing chain replacement can run $4,000 to $6,000, assuming there's no additional valve damage. If the engine fails completely, you're looking at $10,000 to $15,000 for a replacement, which happens more often than it should. Ignition coils cost around $200 to $400 each, and they tend to fail repeatedly. Some owners have even chosen to abandon their vehicles altogether after realizing how expensive the repairs would be. It can literally be cheaper to buy another used car than to fix this engine. The key takeaway here is that not all F-150 engines from that era are problematic. Models with the 4.6-liter engine or later EcoBoost engines don't suffer from these same issues. The major concern is specifically the 5.4-liter Triton. So, if you're considering an F-150 from those years, the first thing you should ask is, which engine does it have? If the answer is 5.4 liters, it's best to walk away. Now let's move to the number one spot. The Ford F-150, equipped with the first-generation EcoBoost engine from 2011 to 2016. This isn't just a reliability concern, it can also be a safety issue. In 2024, Ford had to recall over 90,000 vehicles because intake valves were breaking and falling into the cylinders, causing complete engine failure. This is a serious problem. When it happens, the engine can fail instantly without warning. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, launched an investigation after numerous reports of engines suddenly shutting down. What they found was alarming. Ford had used valve materials that couldn't withstand the extreme heat generated by the turbocharged engine. As a result, intake valves can crack and destroy the engine without any warning signs. Other issues include timing chains stretching or slipping, especially in earlier models from 2011 to 2014, along with heavy carbon buildup due to the direct injection system. Intercoolers can collect moisture and fail, particularly in humid environments, and PCV system issues can lead to significant oil leaks. Turbochargers may also fail prematurely, especially if maintenance isn't perfect, and the ignition system can struggle to handle the added stress of turbocharging. What makes it worse is that many of these failures occur just after the warranty period ends. Repair costs are extremely high. If the valves fail and damage the engine, a replacement can cost between $15,000 and $20,000. Timing chain repairs can reach $6,000 and may fail again over time. Carbon cleaning costs around $800 to $1,200 per session, and it's something you'll need to do regularly. Turbochargers cost between $3,000 and $5,000 each, and since there are two, that adds up quickly. Replacing an intercooler can cost another $1,500 to $2,500. Investigations revealed that Ford had been aware of some of these issues as early as 2022, but took time to respond. Many owners were left dealing with broken vehicles and expensive repairs, and some even took legal action. In several cases, disputes were settled privately. What's particularly disappointing is that these engines were marketed as efficient and powerful, without much emphasis on potential long-term reliability concerns. The good news is that Ford addressed many of these problems in the second-generation EcoBoost engines starting in 2017. These newer engines use improved materials, combine direct and port injection to reduce carbon buildup, and feature better lubrication systems. So, there's no need to avoid all F-150S. Just be cautious with the first-generation EcoBoost models from 2011 to 2016. If you already own one, keep an eye out for warning signs and set aside a budget for potential repairs. To be clear, this isn't about criticizing entire brands. All of these manufacturers produce solid vehicles today. The issue is that certain model years had serious flaws that can be very expensive if you're not aware of them. The lesson is simple. Always research the specific model year and engine before buying a used pickup truck. One version might be reliable, while another from a different year could be full of problems. If you already own one of these trucks, there's no need to panic. Many people drive them without major issues. Just stay alert to the warning signs and be financially prepared in case repairs come up. And if you're in the market for a pickup, now you know exactly what to watch out for. Your wallet will thank you later. Did you find this helpful? Feel free to share your experience if you've owned any of these trucks, or mention others that deserve attention. Your input could help someone else avoid a costly mistake.